everyone, to WWTA News. Here, we look at possibly exciting news in crypto as well as other news in finance and economy. I'm your host, EB, and thank you for joining us. Well, everyone, looking at today, Friday, Eastern Time, United States, looking at the market, it appears to be red, right? It appears that our total market cap is around 1.8 trillion. So, with that, I would like to look at an article, and hopefully, this article can help us understand this crypto space and what's really going on when we see these markets dropping, such as the way that they do. So, let's start off with this article here Insights. The 2021 Global Crypto Adoption Index, worldwide adoption jumps over 880%, with peer to peer platforms driving cryptocurrency usage in emerging markets. Here is a list of markets where cryptocurrency is. Now, when we look at the fact that our total market cap is 1.8, 1.7, 1.6, who knows what it is at this exact moment, not looking at it. But when we think about that total market cap, we can kind of get a better look at where that market cap's coming from if we look at these areas or countries where they're involved with the crypto market. Okay, so here you see in this list we've got Vietnam, India, Pakistan, Ukraine, Kenya, Nigeria, Venezuela, United States, Togo, Argentina, Colombia, Thailand, China, Brazil, Philippines, South Africa, Ghana, the Russian Federation, Tanzania, and Afghanistan, right? So when we hear crazy news about things going on in other countries, this country says they're not going to do this country says they're not going to do that. Clearly, we can find hard evidence to what's actually going on versus what's being said, whether it's smoke and mirrors, who knows? And this is just general discussion. These are my ideas and thoughts on the cryptocurrency world or space and market. So, for instance, it's in the news that China's threatening to do away with cryptocurrencies. But if you look at China as a whole, it says 155 peer-to-peer exchange trade volume. Okay, let's look at the United States coming in at 109. Let's look at this here, 109. Okay, and that's the peer-to-peer exchange trade volume. Okay, now let's look at China down there, right? Let's look at China down there. Let's see if we can get that 155. Right, so volume peer to peer, China, who's in the news threatening, they have one of the highest volumes. They are the highest volume. So in China, trade in cryptocurrencies is the highest peer to peer. Right? Let's look at on chain retail value received. So I guess retail, I'm guessing would get us in trouble. But here it says on chain, on the block, retail volumes of value received. Okay, so the United States is coming in at 3, so our retail value is not that great. But we look at China, we've got 1 there. Uh, I wonder, I'm not sure, and if anyone knows, please link or drop some comments or link some articles uh, down below in the comments section. But I wonder if they mean retail like businesses accepting these assets for payment. Because when you look here at Venezuela, it says 29. In Nigeria, excuse me, Kenya, it says 41. So I wonder if, I'm sorry, what was it? Yeah, Venezuela is 29. Yes, and Kenya is 41. I would wonder if they mean stores accepting or businesses accepting cryptocurrencies, right? That would be a little more, make a little more sense. Could be wrong, but if anybody has any information or any links to validate that, or information on that, please definitely share that in the comments box. So, looking at that, let's get into the article a little bit further. It says at the end of quarter two, 2020, following a period of little growth, total global adoption stood at 2.5, based on our summed up country index scores. At the end of quarter two, 2021, that total score stands at 24. Suggesting that global adoption has grown by over 2,300% since quarter three of 2019 and over 881% in the last year. Our research suggests that reasons for this increased adoption differ around the world. In emerging markets, many turn to cryptocurrency to preserve their savings in the face of currency devaluation, send and receive remittances, and carry out business transactions, while adoption in North America, Western Europe, and Eastern Asia over the last year has been powered largely by institutional investment in a year when prices rose dramatically. Each region's respective reasons to embrace the assets class seem to have proven compelling. So here it says North America, Western Europe, and Eastern Asia, there there was adoption, which means in my thought process, peer to peer, right? Peer to peer adoption, holding. There's a lot of holding, or hodling is the term used here in the States. Hodling or holding of these currencies. But then in this article it says, uh, let's get this again. Remittances. Uh, many Many turn to cryptocurrency to preserve their savings in the face of currency devaluation, send and receive remittances, and carry out business transactions. When we look at some of these countries like Venezuela, Kenya, Nigeria, their currency is undervalued, and so it makes more sense that that statement is saying that some of these countries like that, they're literally getting it and conducting business with it because it's more bang for their buck. So, and let's move on with the article, but it clearly looks like here that when we're looking at these numbers here, for instance, Venezuela coming in at 29 on chain retail value received, and Kenya coming in 41. I might be wrong, but I think these are the countries that are making payments to businesses with cryptos. I may be wrong, but reading this article, I'm getting that idea. But let's continue. Central and Southern Asia, Latin America, and Africa send more web traffic to peer to peer platforms than regions whose countries tend to have larger economies, such as Western Europe and Eastern Asia. Many emerging markets face significant currency devaluation, driving residents to buy cryptocurrency on peer to peer platforms in order to preserve their savings. Others in these areas use cryptocurrency to carry out international transactions, either for individual remittances or for commercial use cases, such as purchasing goods to import and sell. Many emerging markets represented here limit the amount of the national currency that residents can move out of the country. Cryptocurrency gives those residents a way to circumvent those limits so they can meet their financial needs. So, a few things were said there. So, when we look at Nigeria and Venezuela, for instance, Nigeria's coming in at 18 trade volume, right? Let me see. 18 trade volume. Uh, Kenya's coming in. I'm sorry. Kenya's coming in at 40, and Venezuela's coming in at 6. So peer to peer, they're not. They're really not. That's not major for them. But it seems like as they make purchases and preserve value in their money, it seems like these other countries are really using the currency for what it's used for versus major countries like the one we're in, U.S., Europe, and China. So when we look at things that are happening, for instance, today, we can see that the markets being down, you just have to look at the total market cap. All right. Don't worry about the crazy news because as you can see, countries are still using it. Its value for them, it's not going anywhere. But what does happen with the total market cap is money goes out and money comes in. That's why we use the total market cap to get an idea of what's going on with the markets. So for instance, we were at an all-time high of 2.4 trillion. Now here we are around 1.8, 1.7, or 1.6 trillion. What does that mean for the value of your currency? It's probably taking a hit and depreciate a little bit because money left the market. Now, as money comes back in the market, it opens up doors and possibilities for the value of your currency increasing. And that's just based on the fact if the currency that you're holding and using is widely used with other nations or countries, and then therefore, as they bring their money in to purchase that currency, it's going to increase the value of the currency you're holding yourself. So that is my understanding on how that works. So as long as we look at the market cap, we'll get a better understanding. The fear stories that are out there. Oh, China's going to threaten this, and then we see for the longest time India's threatening, and all these countries and nations doing all that threatening. We can see here with all those threats, China, China's down here with all those threats with peer-to-peer exchange trade volume at 155. They're doing the most. They are doing the most. So if they're threatening, if they're doing the most down there. So uh, thank you for joining us at WWTA News. If you enjoyed our video, please hit the subscribe and like button and join us next time to follow the news in crypto, finance, and economy.